Welcome back to The Deep Dive. We are taking your source materials and giving you the shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today, we're embarking on quite an epic journey to Kemer in Turkey. It's this really unique spot where, well, ancient mythology kind of meets modern marvels. Think eternal fire and Europe's longest cable car.
That sums it up perfectly, actually. Our sources, the tourist guides, the excursion details, even travel blogs, they all paint Kemer as this region of intense contrasts.
Right.
You've got high adrenaline adventure on one hand, and then these incredibly preserved ancient ruins, like stepping back into Lycia on the other.
So our mission today isn't just, listing attractions. It's about charting the key experiences efficiently.
Yeah.
How do you go from climbing this huge mountain, Tatali, to then walking through a city founded before Christ and maybe even plunging into a canyon?
Exactly. It's a packed region.
It really is. So let's start big. That colossal feature you see everywhere, Tatala Mountain.
Tatali, or its ancient name, Olympus. And this isn't just any peak. Homer actually mentioned it in the Iliad. It stands at 2,365 meters.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the highest point on the Western Taurus Ridge. It really dominates the landscape.
The scale is definitely striking, but looking through the sources, there were some, surprising things about that altitude. It's not all just sunshine and coastal views up there, is it?
No, definitely not. That height creates some pretty incredible, almost bizarre weather situations. First, you can actually get snow dusting the peak sometimes, even, believe it or not, in summer.
In summer? Really?
Yeah. And here's the really wild part. Sometimes, in the spring, strong winds carry reddish sand all the way from the Sahara.
No way.
Yes, coating the slopes in this completely alien-looking red hue. It's quite something.
That certainly changes the picture from just a sunny Turkish hike. But, okay, for most people, getting up isn't hiking. It's this feat of modern engineering. Equilimbos teleferik.
Exactly. The sources really highlight this as like a centerpiece of the modern Kemer experience. It claims to be the longest cable car in Europe, 4,350 meters long.
That's massive.
It is, but what's fascinating is how quick the journey is. Despite that distance, you're whisked up to the summit in these 80-person cabins in just 10 to 12 minutes.
And the views must be incredible.
Oh, panoramic. 180 degrees the whole way up.
And now, looking at the practical side, the sources were clear. When you go, affects the price quite a bit. How should people think about budgeting for that trip up?
Right, good point. It's tiered pricing.
Yeah.
Generally, mornings are the most expensive standard option, around $55. It drops a little in the afternoon, maybe $50.
Okay.
But the real premium experience, and probably the most memorable, is a sunset package. That includes dinner and jumps up to about $75. They're definitely capitalizing on those sunset views.
I can imagine. But if just looking down isn't enough excitement, the sources say this is also a launch pad for serious adrenaline junkies.
Oh, absolutely. If the cable car isn't enough of a thrill, paragliding is huge here. It costs around $175.
And you jump from?
You can choose either from 1,000 meters or right from the top, 2,300 meters. The flight itself usually lasts about 30 minutes, but that really depends on the thermal conditions that day.
Okay, so after tackling the heights and the modern tech, the natural next step in Kemer's story seems to be stepping way back in time, down at sea level. Let's talk about Phaselis.
Yes, Phaselis is absolutely essential. Founded way back, 7th century BC, by colonists from Rhodes. And the local story, which is kind of fun, is that they bought the land with dried fish.
Dried fish? Seriously?
Yep, strange currency for empire building. But it became a very powerful Lycian port city. Really strategic, with 3 separate harbors.
3 harbors?
Yeah, the north, the protected, and the south port. That south one was the main commercial center, the real hub.
Okay, so if you're short on time, which ruins should you absolutely prioritize? Is it the big Roman engineering stuff or something else? What do the sources suggest?
That's a tough choice. I mean, the main street is impressive, 20 to 24 meters wide, and Hadrian's Gate is very photogenic.
Right.
But for a real connection to daily life back then, I'd say the public baths are the must-see. You walk through and see these strange-looking stacks of round stones.
Yeah, I saw pictures of those. What are they?
They're not just rubble. They're hypocaust supports. Basically the pillars that held up the floor so hot air could circulate underneath. Ancient Roman central heating.
Wow, that's fascinating. Just seeing those simple stones really connects you to how they lived.
It really does. And while you're wandering through the necropolis, the burial area, keep in mind that persistent legend, though, historians are very skeptical that Alexander the Great might actually be buried somewhere in Phaselis.
Alexander the Great, that adds a whole other layer of intrigue.
Definitely. It adds a bit of mystery as you walk around.
So how does Phaselis connect to the other big ancient site, Olympos, the one at the base of the mountain.
Right, the ancient city of Olympos is further south, literally at the foot of Talala Mountain, and it merges into Sirali Beach. Olympos and Sirali have this major ecological importance too.
Oh, how so?
It's a protected nesting ground for endangered Caretta sea turtles. So you have this mix of ancient history and active conservation.
That's a great combination.
And nearby, of course, is Yanartas, the famous eternal flames.
The Kemer.
Exactly. Methane gas is just perpetually burning out of the rocks. It's widely thought to be the inspiration behind the myth of the Olympic flame.
From ancient cities to eternal flames.
Okay, let's shift gears completely now to the natural adventure side. Gonik Canyon seems like the big one.
Gonik is definitely Kemer's top spot for that. And it's super convenient, only about 7 to 10 kilometers from the town center. The scale is just immense.
How big are we talking?
Well, it stretches 14 kilometers long. But in places, the canyon walls, which soar up to 350 meters, they squeeze down to just 6 meters wide.
Wow, that narrow.
Yeah, and the rock colors are stunning white, orange, deep black streaks. Very dramatic. Sounds like a proper labyrinth. Now, if someone's on a tighter budget, what can they actually do there? And what parts require paying for the bigger activities?
Okay, so the basic entry, maybe around $15 for a tour, gets you access to a 2.5-kilometer walking path. You get about, say, 3 hours of free time for simple trekking.
But I sense a but.
There's a big but. The sources are really clear on this. The most spectacular parts, the main waterfall, the hidden grottos, you physically cannot reach them on that dry path.
So the postcard views are pay to play, essentially.
And get wet to play. You have to do one of the paid extreme activities, either body rafting, which is about $35, or a special boat ride for around $25.
And you need gear for that.
You absolutely need a wetsuit, which they provide. And for good reason, the river water in the canyon is consistently freezing. We're talking plus 14 degrees Celsius.
14 degrees. Brr. Okay, that's a proper challenge.
It is, but that's how you get to see the really hidden, beautiful parts of the canyon. It's the trade-off.
Good to know. Be prepared for cold water. Before we head back to the coast, wasn't there a mention of a free historical site nearby?
Yes. Beldibi Cave. It's about 40 kilometers out from Kemer. Pretty remarkable place. A Paleolithic shelter, 6 levels high, about 25 meters above sea level.
And it has rock art.
Yes, prehistoric rock art. And the key thing is, our source is listed as having free access. So a great little stop if you're driving around that area. It doesn't cost anything.
Perfect. Okay, so after climbing mountains, exploring ruins, and braving icy canyon water, the sources confirm Kemer also knows how to relax and have fun. Let's talk coastal comforts. Beaches, food, nightlife. First up, the beaches.
Right, beaches. Key thing to manage expectations here. Kemer's coast is mostly pebble beaches. Fine pebbles, large stones, it varies. Moonlight Beach is the famous sandy pebbly one, kind of an exception.
But the water?
The water quality is generally exceptional because of the pebbles, actually. Often Blue Flag certified, so places like Kiris, Tikirova, they're fantastic for snorkeling right off the beach.
Makes sense. Clear water. And then when the sun goes down, Kemer Center apparently comes alive. What's the club scene like? Any specific must-know events?
Oh yeah, the nightlife is pretty intense, especially May through October. You've got 3 main players in the center. Aura Club is huge, capacity 1,500. Known for its theme nights, Foam Party on Fridays, White Night on Wednesday.
Party classic.
Then there's Inferno Club. This one's maybe less about the DJs and more about massive professional shows.